Hi everyone, welcome to the latest Citizen vlog. I hope you're okay. This is Bernard here. If you don't know who I am, if you're new to the channel, this is a City Moments in Time. So it's a City Past, Citizen City Past vlog, isn't it? Just about our history, etc. Please, if you are new to the channel, please push that subscribe button before you forget. Push the bell notification so you know when these little vlogs and specials are coming out, and make sure you're set to public as well on your notifications, otherwise you won't get to know about these things. Yeah, this is a new thing we've started, this Moments in Time, where we'll look at a certain date. Today we're going to look at the 24th of May 2001, which was literally 2 or 3 days after we did another Moments in Time, which was the sacking. So if you're going to sack a manager, I mean, usually you've got another manager lined up, haven't you? Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 months, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days. In this case, on 24th of May 2001, it took a matter of about 3 days between the sacking of Mr. Joe Royle and the arrival of Kevin Keegan. We're going to just have a talk about the arrival of Kevin Keegan today, not about how he did with City or what happened with City particularly. We might touch upon his main achievement perhaps, but as I say, it's well renowned that the 24th of May was the actual day that Keegan agreed to join City, although obviously I think he took his place in his office probably in June time, so he probably had a few days off just to reflect on what he'd done and decided, yeah, he'll see it through. So all good things with Kevin Keegan anyway. So yeah, I mean, this just reading from this manager's book that we got with the 2018-19 season card. It says King Kev puts the swagger back into City. So yeah, Kevin Keegan returned to club management in June 2001, so said he had a few days to just get himself sorted out before he took on the role. After spending several months out of football, relaxing and catching up with odd jobs at his Durham home, with links to Newcastle as we well know. When the call came from Dennis Stewart and City chairman David Bernstein, he invited them over to his home to talk about the position. Convinced Manchester City was the right club for him, he felt his batteries were once again fully charged and ready for one of the few jobs he felt would still represent a challenge. Yep, no doubt about that. He fought tooth and nail to retain his status as one of Britain's best club managers and was living proof of what hard work and dedication can achieve. Yeah, I mean, looking at his club management, obviously we go back to, we can ignore his playing days for now, just talking about his club management. He was tempted out of retirement. Obviously he retired, hung his boots up after playing for Newcastle. He was tempted out of retirement by Newcastle, who installed him as their new manager. I'll never forgive him for not beating United for that title that time. He sort of went down a little bit in my estimation after that. We all wanted him to win it, didn't we? He helped turn the Magpies into a Premier League force, which he did, famously just missing out on the title, and that was 1996. I remember that. After a spell as Fulham manager, he was handed the England job and as ever gave it his level best before moving on after a year in charge. His arrival at Main Road has created much excitement, and some more on that in a minute from a couple of fans' views, etc. Keegan quickly added flair to a team who had struggled for goals as he prepared for life in the second tier. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the magazine, the City magazine, obviously Ayel Berkovic, Ali Benarbia were two of his best signings. Of course, Mr. Stuart Pearce, who was obviously going to have a say, wasn't he, at when Mr. Keegan finished with City, obviously 4 years later. Obviously, he was going to have a say in the future of City going forward after Keegan left. So, yeah, I mean, that was something from the magazine there. I'll have a quick look at some nice picture in there before we go in there as well. But obviously, his first game in charge of City was the game against Watford, which was on the 11th of August 2001. So obviously David Bernstein had lost a lot of respect from City fans of his handling of the Joe Royle thing, even though he'd had a lot of money in he'd obviously been quite popular up till then, but obviously a lot of people were a bit turned off. His message in this programme: dear supporters, my final words in my piece in the programme for the Chelsea match last May were roll 1 August. 3 months have flashed by and the 34,000 of us will crowd into Main Road to see us kick off our First Division campaign against Watford. Clearly the key event of the close season has been the change of manager and the arrival of Kevin Keegan. When we approached Kevin, his first reaction was City are the only club I will be interested in joining. Now, did they approach him after Joe Royle or before Joe Royle left? Who knows? These things happen, don't they? We don't know. We were of course delighted to hear this. He explained that his views were based on the stature of the club, our unique fan base, the potential of the new stadium and our reputation for now being a well-structured and organised club. He believed all these factors will give him an opportunity of taking Manchester City back to the highest level. We understand and respect Kevin's ambitions. And he goes on to say, our new manager has made major changes to our football setup. I warmly welcome Arthur Cox, who he brought with him, Juan Carlos Osorio and Peter Bonetti, who was obviously passed as I'm recording this, sadly passed away just a few weeks before this, nicknamed the Cat, and I'd never forgive him for getting England beat in the quarter-finals of the World Cup in 1970. I totally blame Peter Bonetti, and all rest in peace, mate, but it was all your fault. We got knocked out of the 1970 World Cup, and I was in tears in my garden at the age of 10 years old, I remember. Anyway, or was it 11? I might have been 11. Anyway, they are all highly professional and are working extremely well with the rest of the management team. The costs of relegation are substantial. We geared up our playing staff to compete in the Premiership and we were unsuccessful. The downside is the large wages bill. So, and he goes on to say, he knows our supporters, fans will be committed and positive as ever. I wish you all an enjoyable and successful season. And Kevin Keegan again with that great flag. I mean, I love that City flag that's in blue, the Union flag, but obviously it's in the City colours. His little comments from the magazine. The challenge for anyone who's given the chance to become manager of Manchester City is to fulfil the club's enormous potential. I am excited at this prospect. After I resigned as England coach, many people, nice people with big ideas, came to me and offered me opportunities in management. I didn't take them because they were not right for Kevin Keegan. But it's always bad when you talk about yourself and you name yourself, isn't it? I mean, it's a bit weird. But when the Manchester City chairman came to see me, he didn't have to sell his club to me. I know it was one the right job, the only club. I have only played at Main Road a few times and watched the odd game, but it's a transparent club. You can see from the outside what you are getting. And he goes on to say, we're going straight into a high-profile opening game. This game against Watford, I think we won 3-0 this game. Against their new manager, Gianluca Vialli, who's the Watford manager. I like him and accept he faces a similar challenge to myself because he's at a club that feels it should be in the Premiership. So Watford were having a go, weren't they, as well? And obviously they were having a go even now, aren't they? Our aim to start the season with a win, which we did, 3-0, and hope that with the hard work and a bit of luck, we can give you all what we want, which is promotion. There's a great image, obviously, the first team picked Kevin Keegan in the middle of the programme there with the squad for the season. Eidos, the wonderful Eidos. That's when I played a charity match at Main Road. I had Eidos on my goalkeeper shirt when I went in goal for a charity match. So that's a great image of the team there. And good programmes those days as well. You know, Mimi programmes and nice thick programmes. They did get better, but that was really good. But what did things? I mean, as I said, I personally wasn't unhappy with the choice. I mean, a lot of people had mentioned David Moyes at the time, people like that. I wasn't particularly unhappy. As I said, I'd not quite forgiven him for the fact that Newcastle didn't win the league from United that season. But just after look at King of the Kippax, just a couple of views from the contributors to that. I mean, obviously Dave Wallace, the editor, had his little say on what's happening off the pitch. And he goes on to say, he just comments about Joe Royle. So let me just have a look. Keegan, here we go. I think this one took everyone by surprise. This is Dave Wallace. He certainly wasn't on my list. I thought he was happily retired. It's a good bet that the club had been talking to him since his bombshell just after our IGM. And wasn't that an unwittingly prophetic front cover of King of the Kippax 86? I mean, that was to do when he left the England job. It appears that the chairman spoke to Joe on Thursday and the vibes were obviously not good. Kevin was sounded out on the Sunday, so we're saying obviously Thursday, 3 days there. Joe fired on the Monday and Kev appointed on the Thursday. Again, I was dragged out for the media, so apologies spoiling your breakfast, dinner, tea. Paul Nolan, for some reason, took great delight in lurking about behind me while the cameras rolled and his deodorant hadn't worked. A bit nasty, Dave, no need for that, is there? What's up to Paul Nolan? God knows. I was sceptical at first, preferring Moyes or a foreign coach maybe, but it's always a gamble, and almost all the Blues I spoke to were ecstatic, and he certainly was inspirational at the Fans Forum. Also, having read his book, I don't think he's the quitter that people are labelling him. And he certainly likes a challenge, so what the hell, a promotion and a semi-final will be more success than we've had for the last 20 years. So let's put the reservations aside. Phew, I feel as good as when Malcolm came back. Yes, well, how did that end, Dave? I mean, you know, there we go. And Jed, obviously, Jed Sound, a great piece from Jed Sounds off his little musings on on Joe Royle and Kevin Keegan. So the candidates, he talks about the candidates after Joe Royle left. The club claims to have received around 20 serious applications for the post of manager. Many of the applicants will have been under contract to other clubs and therefore cannot be named for confidentiality reasons. Of course not. No. So we'll assume the figures of 20. I think I applied. I can't remember. I think a few City fans applied at the time, assuming we couldn't do a worse job. So we'll have to assume the figure of 20 was real rather than it being an attempt to talk up the stature of the club. The initial rumours included David Platt, Bassett, George Graham, Harry Redknapp, David Moyes and Keegan, with Keegan the surprise candidate being picked out by mainly because he was a mate of Dennis Stewart. So this is probably why Dennis Stewart went down with the chairman to see him. A high proportion of fans would have gone for Moyes, but he was never going to come before the playoff final. In any case, the directors were bound to prefer a big name manager to maintain the profile of the club. I'd have preferred Moyes as he's worked wonders at Preston with limited resources. Well, we know where he went, don't we? But the club chose Keegan, possibly before Royle was sacked, and we have to rely on him to guide us to our next promotion. Obviously, whether it was before Royle was sacked or not, we don't know. We never will know. In through the outdoor. So what do City fans make of Kevin Keegan? Question mark. The first comment I got was a text message saying Keegan, Bernstein out, Stewart out. Others claimed it was a backward step, while some referred the tactical stupidity he demonstrated as England manager. The most positive comment came from a former season ticket holder who refused to watch the garbage served up by Royle and now wants to get a season ticket once again. In general, the good points are his successes at Newcastle and Fulham and his motivational abilities, while the bad points are that his successes all come at a high financial cost and that he bottles it when things get tough. We still have most of the players that gained promotion last time and we've strengthened slightly since then. If we can keep our best players and add some quality and creativity to our midfield, we should be capable of mounting a promotion challenge this season. So there you go. I mean, that's a couple of views from King. There's lots more reviews. That's just a couple I picked out on Kevin Keegan, who obviously stayed with us from 2001 to 2005, and I think he left in March 2005. Yeah, I mean, I sort of echo that. I think most City fans were quite happy. As I said, Moyes was keen. We know he obviously did go to Everton then, didn't he? Moyes from Preston. But Moyes would have been an interesting one, wasn't it? It would have been an interesting choice, actually. I mean, if you look at little things in history and if we'd had this or we'd not had that, I mean, that would have been interesting to see how City would have coped with David Moyes, wasn't it? That would have been very interesting to watch. So, yeah, I think there was general positivity. There was a bit of negativity. We were a bit worried that, his tenure for England, he did seem to lack a little bit of tactical nous, and obviously even with Newcastle he lacked that tactical nous when it came to the crunch, didn't he? He didn't have the bottle to see it through, unfortunately, or obviously not him and his players. Obviously his players are on the pitch. There's only so much a manager can do, obviously we know that. But I was okay, and let's face it, we saw some great stuff, didn't we? We saw some great stuff underfoot. We saw some great football. Some good attacking football, not always a great defensively, but hey, certain other managers that we know very well aren't always that hot on that, are they? So, that was Kevin Keegan, who officially joined, although he took his position in June 2001, officially was announced as our manager on the 24th of May 2001. So, just to finish off with Kevin, that's probably the greatest picture and the biggest memory perhaps we're going to have of Kevin Keegan's tenure at City. That's a great image, isn't it, in there with the Division 1 trophy. Love that trophy. I still do. I just still prefer it to the Premier League trophy, the Division 1 trophy. I think it's superb. And just as a matter of fact, I mean, obviously we'll probably touch on Kevin Keegan again in another vlog when he gets sacked and talk about how we did generally at City, what people's thoughts were, etc. But his highest position in the top division for City was in 9th place, which was okay, wasn't it? Not brilliant. Anyway, thanks for joining me today for this. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you've got any your own specific memories, etc, etc. And my thanks to people like King of the Kipax and Manchester City for this book, and obviously the programmes where I've got my information from. I'll be dipping in and out of programmes and King of the Kipax, etc. on many of these moments in history. So hope you enjoyed that moments in time for this Citizen Past vlog. Anyway, please, for all the latest news on City, and if you like movies and TV dramas, I do vlogs on movies and TV dramas, etc. So you can, I've got 2 accounts on Twitter, at Charles Deneen, Deneen spelled D-I-N-N-E-N, or at nostalgia_movie, and I try and follow everyone back. So if you need a follower, follow me, I'll follow you back, that's no problem. And I'm also on Facebook at Burn Deneen with links to moviegamenostalgia.com, which is my little website for old and rare DVDs, which I used to have a video shop in the 90s and 2000s in Manchester, so I still sell old and rare DVDs, movie posters from the 90s and 2000s, some great films, some great actors are on there, and some old rarer board games as well. The odd new one thrown in, but some more retro board games from Waddington and stuff like that. So if you can spare a couple of minutes to have a look on moviegamenostalgia.com, thumbs up to you. My thumbs up to you. Can't do that with you, can I? But I'll give you a thumbs up for at least having a look round. So it's all good for football, Google football and all this. So even if you don't buy anything, it's great. Just have a nosy and just let me know what you think. Anyway, thanks for watching today. What we're going to do with the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family, and more importantly, let's all look after each other. And I'll be back. Hopefully you'll join me again for something very, very similar very soon on Manchester, our wonderful club, Manchester City, and our Citizen vlogs. And I'll see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.